Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay, nako magandang gabi ho sa inyo lahat. No? Good evening. It's a happy Thursday ho ngayon. Ako po si SONNY LARAGAN dito po sa ating programang Immigration Corner where we talk about immigration issues, problems, matters, lahat na ho about immigration dito ho. Pero, hindi ho ako magsasalita. Yan, dahil wala naman akong talaga kaalam-alam. Kasama ho natin ang every Thursday, kapamilya, kapuso, kapatid, no? Lahat na ho, no? Kasama ho natin dito every week. Nagbibigay na saya, no? Smile to everybody, no? Pati sa akin, syempre, I'm glad na nakakasama natin. Syempre, di ba, once a week, nagkukumustahan tayo, no? And of course, it's a learning, educational experience, no? Interaction to sa atin between you guys who are there watching us and us here, no, yung inyong mga hosts. So, syempre, without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you the person with the expertise for immigration and who has been with us and has been our friend on our social bubble, no? Itong bubble natin that has been going on for a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, with pride and honor, syempre, I want to call on my co-host for tonight, the immigration expert, walang iba kundi si Attorney LIRA Simon CABATBAT. Attorney, magandang gabi.
Magandang gabi. So, I'm so happy to be here. No, it's happy Thursday. Talaga, it is indeed happy Thursday. Kamusta ka?
Okay naman. Okay naman. Okay naman. I've been enjoying the sun the past few days, pero past couple of days medyo nagkulimlim, no? So, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay
ulan-huli.
I haven't been driving. Not as much as I did the past couple of weeks where I went to Kent, to Telford, ano ba to? It starts with the letter C, Attorney. I think it's letter C. Ano ba? So, bandang Birmingham, mga Midlands. What place in Midlands would start with the letter C? Nako.
I can't think at the moment. But yeah,
yung isa non-ito, alam ko,
no?
Coventry, West Midlands yan. I think
course,
East or West Midlands. Basta nasa Midlands yan. Ayan, yung mga past weeks, no? And Kent, I enjoyed it sa Maidstone, Kent, no? I drove to Maidstone, Kent, I don't know, last week or a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. Ay, ikaw, kumusta? Kumusta? Anything, new? Anything na,
Yeah, well, not as exciting as you. No. I had my second vaccination, COVID vax, no, on Monday morning actually. Yeah, and ano na tayo, of course, no, Thursday, no, happy Thursday nga. No issues, not even first time ba? Yung first time ko, mas na konti mas nga konti. No, it's a bit sore for maybe siguro 2-3 days, no. But ngayon, wala. I barely felt it. And walang lagnat. It was not hurting in any way. So I'm so relieved. I'm so pleased. No, tapos na. Had my 2. So, and you had your 2, no?
Yes, I had my 2. I had my 2. I don't know when it was, but I was quite worried because then, di ba, we were having yung mga parang roadmap natin towards, Freedom Day, so to speak, no? And May, I was hoping na by May, because we were booked for Spain first week of June. We've canceled, rebook yung aming Spain trip for siguro, I don't know, 7 times, 6 times. So, I was hoping, no, yan. So, I was worried na I wouldn't have my vaccination before June because yung first week ng June nakabook na kami. Buti na lang before bago dumating in June, na-vaccinate ako. The problem is Spain was not included in the green list. So, 'di ba yung expense yung testing, yung mahal dun yun testing. That's also what's turning people off because it's an added expense. You spend magkano ba flights na mga 20 pounds. Sabihin na lang natin 20, 30 pounds, 40 pounds. Yung test mo naman, ang mahal, 'di ba? Plus if you get quarantine, pag uwi mo, quarantine ka, kawawa ka na naman, no? So, ayan, wait, nangingiti ako kasi we have a little game, 'di ba? Who comes first? 'Di ba?
Okay.
Oo.
Yeah.
Sige, maya-maya natin yan. Sige, so, nakakatuwa rin kasi, 'di ba? Siyempre, we have friends who are there always and we have some silent viewers who sometimes would, out of the, siguro, I don't know, siguro, either they might have drank something, sherry or a bit of wine, and perhaps they say, they've got the courage, di ba? A bit of courage to join us and ask us, no? So, so far, pero what do you think? We were supposed to be free by no mask, no anything on the 21st of June yata, di ba? Pero how do you feel, di ba? Ha? Hindi, 21st. Alam ko 21st. May 7. Hindi, 21st yung last na yung wala ng mga mask. May 17 yung you can hug one another yata, parang ganun, di ba? Una sinasabi. But June 21 was supposed to be yung Freedom Day. But how do you feel extending it for about a month more from instead of we having it on the 21st of June, we're having it on July 19? Parang yun na raw ang terminus. I hope it does, no? Oh, I hope it does.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hope so nga, no? It's just before, I mean, that this is one thing that often concerns me now with government, if you like, announcements. They don't, I think they have to tell us nga, ano bang rason, no? And they're not, I've felt that they haven't been that great in telling us, we're doing this because, no? It's the because bit. Yung sinasabi nga lang sa atin, we're doing this. So, but this time around, I mean, actually relatively recently, they in fact publish information why they're looking to extend. And the reason they're looking to extend, it seems, and is fair now. So, it's a question now of vaccinating more people, no? So, if the next 4 weeks will allow further vaccination and allow also giving those who've been vaccinated once to be vaccinated second time. So it would mean even if you contract it in COVID you may not suffer so badly from it. So it could potentially save really thousands of lives. No, it allows the further vaccination, and I think that's fair enough. No. It's a valid reason. It's a reason that would potentially lead to many more lives being saved. So another four weeks. Well, okay. I think it's better to do this now rather than open up. Tapos 2 days later, sarado uli. I think that would be even worse. No.
Pero ang problema nila, attorney, is that, for example, di ba, when people are so fed up, but we're fed up with itong, siyempre, yung hindi makapag-holiday, hindi makagalaw masyado, di ba? So when Portugal was added onto the green list, no? Portugal ba, Malta, Portugal, marami nag-book ng flights, no? Although medyo mahal-mahal, they booked their flights. And then, after a few days, biglang binawi. Na kasama na amber list lang, di ba, nagkagulo-gulo yan, parang, so hindi ko alam kung nagdidemanda o ang Manchester Airport and the may mga bakit walang explanation, ano mga reasons why you immediately, from initially saying green list, and then kasi mayroong mga nagpupunta na nag-fly sila, kararating lang kalalanding lang, kararating sa hotel nila, and they were starting to book their flights back home dahil they may deadline. You have to be back home by this thing, and you might yung mga quarantine and so on and so forth. mahal din yun eh. And so, ayun, they had to, kararating mo lang and then you have to book your flight coming back, no? Na ganun eh. Anong reason ng government, di ba? Hindi masyadong malinaw, di ba? Yun, yung mga ganun eh. So, pabago-bago.
Hindi, ito nga ang problema eh. You see, it's, tama ka. It's one thing to say, okay, itong gagawin namin, no? But we also need to know why.
Yes,
no?
they have to explain to us, diba?
Explain it to us, and not just tell us ito nga mangyayari. And sometimes also, they just need to be absolutely clearer nga, no? Because to go from green to amber so quickly, I think they were already thinking it should be amber. So, Portugal, that is. Why even put them on the green list? No? So, I think it just needs to be, they just need to be more forthcoming out with yung rason. I mean, we're not silly, no? As public, we just need to know, no? And meron bang dahilan, no? Not just tell us itong gawin nila without really telling us may rason ba, no? And at the moment, the explanation they finally did give, which was not actually that long ago, extending it, at least to me makes sense, no? Because even though it hurts the economy, I'm sure, no? Tapos it delays also, especially the hospitality and airlines nga, and all those are big employers. Masakit sa kanila yun. But at least merong ang rason. It's just, as I've said, yung nga lang just to suddenly do certain things. But at the same time, sometimes they don't also do things maybe quickly enough, no? Tayong nauna sa red list, no? Philippines. Nauna tayo before India.
And
which does not make sense.
May kwento yun. Bakit? Kasi because he was supposed to go, Boris Johnson was supposed to go to India to meet. What do they have? A president or a prime minister? He was supposed to meet up with them, no? At saka yan, medyo may konting political yan because we have a lot of Indians dito, di ba? A lot of Asians, no? So, ayun, medyo dinelay yun. Pero actually, may variant na, no? Ang lakas na ng kanilang, dito, yung kanilang variant, di ba? It's, nag-mutate, ibang mutation sila eh.
Yeah.
Yung Delta, they wanna call it Delta, no? Ngayon, nagkaroon ng Delta, Alpha, Delta. Because the Indians don't want it to be called Indian variant, no? They want it to be with a different name, no? So, it's like calling, how do you call yung, di ba nung araw, pag sinabi mo, when you call, yung mga words na bakla, parang it's too harsh, no? Now, you can, gay siya. Di ba? Gay siya, di ba? Kaysa naman yung bakla ka. O kaya, kunyari, inchik yan eh. May lahing inchik yan. Ngayon, hindi na. Chinese, di ba? Parang medyo, how do you call a word na yun? Pagka a word in place of another word, euphemism, sometimes yata, euphemistic na lang, di ba? He passed away. Imbis na hinamatay si Day, o parang he passed away. Parang a lighter word for a, I don't know, kamukha na, Delta variant. Pero it's plain and simple. It's a variant that came from India. O, di ba? Hindi naman galing sa Kent yan. Hindi naman galing sa Brazil yan eh. Galing yan sa India. And the UK, in the Philippines, when they were starting with the news, they were calling the Kent variant as UK variant back home in the Philippines. Diba? If you watch GMA, if you watch ABS-CBN, ang tawag nila UK variant. Diba? Pero we didn't mind it. No? I don't know if the British people minded it. Diba? But now, when the Indian variant came, naging politically correct na yung tao ngayon. No? Naging PC na, politically correct. No? Let's not call it Indian variant, let's call it Delta. Ganyan. So, may susunod siguro, Echo naman, no? Echo, Foxtrot, siguro, ganun na siguro.
Echo na, yeah.
Echo na, oo. So, ayan, yun lang. Okay, hulaan mo, attorney. Sino unang bumate?
Okay.
Oo. Gusto mo ba ng letters o wala ng letters? From blind lang, blind. Wala nang A, wala nang B, wala ng letter. Blind tayo, blind. Blind.
It can't be Miss Paner again, no? I mean, I'd like to guess Miss Paner, but I think...
Sino?
Could I... Yeah, look, at ako...
Okay lang. Kay Miss Panero, kay Mirko, sino pa man, sino papasok sa isip mo? Basta, it's just a game. Oh.
Yeah. ang unang-una sa akin na pumasok sa isip ko si Miss Paner uli, no? Now, am I wrong?
Is that final na yun? Baka kako you were saying na parang premise mo pa lang yan. I was thinking of Miss Paner, but kala ko may next line ka eh. Yun na yun. Is that it? Final na yun. It terminated with that. Like say, ang iniisip ko si Miss Paner, period na ba yun, attorney? You're not saying, pero walang ganon. Ano na yun? Yun na yun. Miss Paner na?
No, sabihin natin Miss Paner. No, a second person came into mind, but let's go with Miss Paner. Dahil siyang unang.
Miss Paner. Sige. I don't know if somebody is I don't know kung may nagsabog ng minsan swerte, di ba? May nakakakuha ka ng correct lottery ticket, no? May swerte, no? Palagi ko, attorney, meron kang swerte. You know why? You're right. It's the same person. Si Miss Paner na naman uli ang naunang Dapat meron tayong, rito, yung mga clapper, no? Meron tayong, I'll flash her message. Ayan, si Miss Paner. Pakibasa, attorney.
Wonderful. So, yeah.
Tama ka na naman. Sabi ko kung may swerte, baka...
Reading.
Oo. Ayan na, ano?
So, galing po ito kay Miss Marian Galicia Paner. Hello po, Kuya Sonny and Attorney Lira. Magandang gabi po sa lahat. Happy Thursday po and stay safe and God bless po. I'm watching from...
Teka na, kiklik ko lang. Next time nga po, kumpletuin na. Cheltenham. So, Cheltenham. Cheltenham.
Miss Paner, we love Miss Paner.
Second consecutive week yon. Siya kaya ang mananalo. Siya pa rin pa kaya next week? Di ba? Usually, ganun, di ba, mga elimination. Di ba? Mayroong mga contestants. Tapos first week, siya second week. No? So, nakaka 2 weeks in a row si Miss Paner as our first, how do you call it? Greeter? Is that correct word?
Yun na, greeter. Yeah.
Greeter? Person to greet us?
Make it a hat-trick, next week.
3 in a row. Yeah. Hat-trick, di ba? Di ba sa football? Oo. You call it hat-trick, ha? Teka muna, hat-trick is 3 times, di ba? Ay, mga kaibigan ko dyan, yung mga football yata sa 3 times hat-trick, ayan. So, Miss Paner, may challenge sa'yo si attorney, Ayan. Hindi, Marian, si Marian Galicia Paner. Si Ma'am Cora, pakibasa, attorney.
Yun na nga. So, followed very closely by Manang Cora Carstola. Hello, Sir Sonny, Attorney Lira. N.O. Masayang gabi.
Siya yan, ha? She tries to, ito naman ang sa kanya, she wants to be unique by saying masayang gabi, like happy Thursday, masayang gabi. Meron tayong important. Our program is benefiting from, in a way, from people from different parts of the Europe and they're curious, paano tong immigration program dyan sa UK? Pakibasa, attorney, from Denmark.
Yeah, welcome po, Mila Christensen, watching from Denmark. Welcome. Nice of you to join us,
Yeah, hi Mila. Thank you. Christensen, nagkita na ba tayo? Nagkausap na ba tayo? Or ikaw ba'y naligaw dito? Welcome. Kung it's your first time to watch us. Thank you very much. And tuloy ho kayo. You're most welcome, everybody from other parts of the world who are watching us right now. Mabuhay po kayo. Ayan, from Denmark, we go to Northern Ireland.
Yes, of course. Yeah, the lovely Mr. Libroho. So, Rudy Libroho. So, sabi ko, magandang gabi ng masayang Huwebes po. Lovely and blooming Attorney Lira, handsome Sir Sonny, and all viewers. Mabuhay from Belfast.
Rudy, mabuhay ang Libroho family, ha? Mabuhay. Si Mrs. at saka si Mia, mabuhay. Si Mia ba, one and only daughter ba? Wala ka ng ibang, may pangalawa ka bang anak? I mean, may kapatid ba si Mia, no? Oo. Si Ma'am Cora. Attorney, matutuwa ka rito. Ha?
Wow! Salamat po. So, galing po ito kay Manang Cora Carsola. Ang ganda ni Attorney Lira with her very nice dress and of course, handsome Sir Sonny and his very nice shirt as well. Thank you po.
Thank you. Attorney, maganda yung suot mo. Ano ba yan? How do you call that? Yung hanggang dyan, may ano ka, di ba? May anong dress yung suot mo?
Yeah, it's so it's I don't really know what it would be called, but I suppose it's a kind of Victorian, So,
hindi ba pleated ang tawag? Hindi naman pleated yan, no?
Uniform.
Okay. Hindi naman pleated ang tawag dyan na something, no?
Yeah, so that's a bit pleated nga, no? So it's it's nice to be able to also now have to wear a jacket. Then yeah, mainit na nga.
Mainit, mainit.
Actually, today it's a little bit colder.
Yeah.
But it's kind of nice. Usually jacket, no? So
Mm.
thank you po. That's so nice of you to notice, Manang.
Sa opisina kayo, attorney, air condition kayo, no? So okay,
Meron
wala kang
kaming
problema
aircon.
pala. Wala kang problema, no? Because may mga hotel dito, dyan sa Birmingham, halimbawa, ang dami namin hotel na tiniran dyan. Yung malalaki, mga 4-star, hindi ko alam kung 4-star or 3-star, wala silang aircon. Most of the hotels na nandito sa UK, walang aircon. Oo, I don't know if you experienced that, ha? Ang laki-laki ng hotel, no? Tapos walang aircon. Tapos bubukas lang kayo po. Electric fans lang ang binibigay sa inyo para ano. Summertime, that's mostly summertime, no? I've experienced that, no? Hindi ko alam kung sa mainland Europe, in my travels. Yeah, attorney, yes, as you were saying.
No, I was just going to say yung nga sabi sa I'm very lucky. Sina namin it's actually fully air conditioned, but I'm the only one yung kwarto ko I don't put the aircon on. Hindi na ako maigi, no? Mabilis. So when I go out of my room, I run through the reception and go into wherever I need to go and run back. Lamig.
Okay, well, don't you just want to wear your coat? Hindi ka nag-wear ng coat mo to more or less yun ang panlaban mo na konti sa lamig? So paano? You just open the windows, attorney?
Yeah, I open window. I don't know about hindi ako sanay aircon,
okay.
It's at best meron akong fan, but otherwise I open a window.
Okay.
So it's but no, I shouldn't complain because I can put the aircon on pagka mainit nga, but I just don't. I mean, people actually don't like coming into my room, but because it's ang tawag nga Philippine temperature. Init eh.
Philippine temperature. Ako nga, I don't know with you, but me, alam mo, ang kumot ko, ang kumot ko, pang winter time eh. Ewan ko ba't dapat mapalitan na yun, no? Ang kapal. There was one time, I woke up in the middle of the night, pawis na pawis ako. Kasi nga, yung hindi pa napapalitan ng yung kumot ko, yung duvet pa rin ang kumot ko. Duvet. Yeah. Di ba, makapal yung duvet pang winter time. Ewan ko, ba't, ano yata yung kumot ko yata, pang ano na yata yan pang all seasons na for all seasons, no? Winter, spring, summer, and fall. Panlaban din sa winter. Okay, attorney, ito. Yeah, okay, okay, let's go to ayan si Maylene Amahoy Babelo Box. Ayan.
Okay, so of course. Good evening po sa inyo, watching from the Netherlands. Oh, welcome, Maylene, no?
Oy, thank you ulit, Ma'am
so
Cora.
Gorgeous, actually.
Ganda ni Maylene, no? Good evening, Maylene, from Netherlands. Wow, fantastic. Oy, thank you nga pala kay Ma'am Cora Carzola for complimenting our attires for tonight, no? Baka hindi ko na yung previous message hindi ko na acknowledge, no? Ma'am Cora, thank you. Thanks for the nice words, by complimenting our outfits or attires for today. Ayan, si Marian Galicia uli. Oy. Attorney, sige.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well. Yeah, we're getting our compliments here. Sonny, looking good, both of you. Salamat po. No?
Salamat. Salamat, Marian. Oo. Hindi, si attorney, medyo okay. Maganda yung long hair, long black, how do you go, flowing hair? Di ba? Tapos yung, anong color yung attorney? How would you describe that color? Is it what, how would you describe that color?
Beige.
Beige color.
I would say beige.
Hindi ka ba nagkakaroon ng parang yung naduduling kayo sa damit ko? Parang yung it's not good. May stripy, no? Parang there's an effect na parang nakakaduling. Hindi ba kayo naduduling, no? But let me know, no? Baka...
Gorgeous.
I love you, attorney. Talaga napaka, ayan, no? Siyempre, yung mga friends mo, siyempre, di ba? You have to, compliment, sabi nga. Okay. Okay. Si Paula Patricia Roque Perez, yan.
Oh, hindi natin nabasa.
Hindi nabasa yung
galing kay Miss Rafael.
Ay, sorry. My apologies. Naku, magagalit yan.
Not Miss.
Magagalit yan, no? Dahil lalo na sa kanya, naka all caps pa yan. Tama.
Yeah, so it's one of our favorites, Miss Emily and Rafael. So good evening, Sonny and Attorney Lira. Happy Thursday to you both.
Yan.
Watching from High Barnet.
Andun pa rin
okay,
siya.
nasa Barnet
So,
siya ulit.
she's still there. Bumalik pa rin, no? Emmeline, good evening, no? Thank you very much for sharing this, ano. Paki-share lang ho, yung mga nanonood sa atin. Please share this to all of your friends or para lang sa ganun malaman ho nila. Ayan, si Paula Patricia Roque Perez.
So, happy Thursday, Sir Sonny and Attorney Lira. Hi, Paula.
Mabuhay po. Ayan, si Paula. Yung, okay. MM Giling. O yun, favorite natin. Si MM. Oh, parang bihira si MM. Bihira. MM, kumusta ka na? No? Busy ba? Ayan.
Yeah, yun na nga. So, hi, good evening po. Happy Thursday, sir and ma'am. Hi, Miss Giling.
Hi, Miss Giling. Oh. Yes, hi, Miss MM. Hi, MM. Ano ba real name ni MM? Esmeralda? Oh, would you know her number? Emma. MM. Parang naalala ko yung MM no, yung mga maliliit na di ba? Pero sa ano yan sa may Trafalgar Square no, yung MM. Okay, right, si Grace Raimondo Antoine,
lovely name. Happy Thursday evening, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. God bless po sa inyo. Thank you po. Thank you, Grace.
Sa'yo din, no? Sa'yo din. Ngayon, tatalo naman tayo ng Dublin, Ireland, Attorney. Xavier Busig, Xavier.
Yeah. So watching from Dublin, Ireland. Okay. So from Oliver Fernandez.
Tumalo na kagad.
Checking in.
Right. Okay. Bumabati sa atin. Hi, Kuya Sunny. Checking in. Slightly late from Washington. No, okay lang yun. Kasi dumating na siya mga 8:38 na, no? Ayan, Washington State sa California.
Thank you.
Washington State, no?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, my gosh, no? Ano oras na ba ron?
Impressive.
It's less 8 hours. So, yes. May Tigbao Vargas. Oliver, mabuhay, mabuhay. Xavier, mabuhay, no? Sabi niya, hi, Attorney Lisa and Sir Sunny. Hindi yata labas siya kay Xavier Busig. Labas lang natin. Ayan, hi, Attorney Lisa and Sir Sunny. And of course, si May Tigbao. Ito yung mga ating mo regulars.
Yun na nga po. So, good evening, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Watching from Exeter, Devon. Happy Thursday. Hi, Mr.
Ayan,
Lau.
okay. Happy Thursday. Okay, so yeah, thank you. Okay, so yun na muna ang mga ating mga initials na pagbate. And you're gonna be discussing a topic tonight, Attorney? Pagbalik na, we'll have a break ba? Are you gonna be discussing? Okay, sige. Alright, so we're gonna be discussing, wag ho kayong alis mga kaibigan, saglit lang ho at kami ho ay babalik ko ni Attorney. Sandali lang ho. Okay. We're trying to... Okay. Wag ho kayong alis, no? Saglit po lamang. We're coming back right after this break.
Mula doon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes. Dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
%, all natural, tasty, healthy, versatile, 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galettos.
During these trying times, we salute the frontliners who are tirelessly caring for all of us against the COVID-19. To all the courageous nurses, doctors, carers, and paramedics at the NHS, words are not enough to thank you. We at Highlight Express International are here to support you back with a full semester 10% discount when you send your balikbayan boxes to your family in the Philippines. Dahil ang Highlight Express International ay para sa pamilya.
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay, tuloy-tuloy tayo sa ating program. Balik ko tayo dito sa ating programang Immigration Corner on a Happy Thursday. Siyempre, kasama natin yung ating pinakamamahal na abogada. Walang iba kundi si Attorney LIRA Simon CABATBAT. Attorney, good evening once again to you. Ayan. Oo. So, anong di-discuss tonight? Anong di-discuss tonight natin? Oh, by the way, I'd like to remind sandali. Sorry. Just to remind them, pasok niya na ho yung questions nyo as early as now ho. Para nang sa ganun ho, we'll finishing 1 hour and a half yung ating program. Pag hindi ho inabot yung question nyo, baka next week na ho, no? So, si Attorney will be discussing something tonight, yung topic niya. And then, we'll go straight to ating mga questions. Attorney, anong topic ang di-discuss natin ngayon?
So, ang topic po natin ngayon is actually traveling, in and out of the United Kingdom. So, basically, COVID restrictions. Now, I'll also discuss nga some of the Philippines restrictions nga. So basically, travel between UK and Philippines. No, because lots of things have changed last time. Pinag-usapan na natin to, I think, probably about a month, 6 weeks ago, no. But since then, lots of things again have happened, and there's a lot of confusion between itong ginagamit nila ngayon dito, the traffic light system. Yung sinasabi mo, green, amber, and red. No?
Okay.
So, I thought I'd discuss the immigration aspect of that.
So travel between the UK and the Philippines.
Yeah. So COVID. I suppose it's COVID restrictions.
Okay.
COVID travel restrictions.
All right. Mga kaibigan, ito si Attorney. Take it away, Attorney.
Okay, salamat po. Now, yung nga sabi ni Sonny, please, kung meron kayong mga questions, handaan nyo na, no? Email it to us so at least we have time, hopefully, then to get around to dealing with it. So, handaan nyo na whilst I'm talking about topic nga ngayon. So, yung nga, ang topic po natin COVID travel restrictions, no? As they stand at the moment. So, today, of course, is the day today is the 17th of June nga. What's the up-to-date restrictions nga. So let's deal firstly with entry into the United Kingdom. So kung galing kayo sa Pinas, gusto niyo pumasok dito, pwede ba? Ano bang kailangang mangyari? Now, there's been a lot of confusion with this. Ang sabi nga, they're using at the moment, they're implementing the traffic light system, no? So basically, they've broken it down, countries nga, mainly. So either the country belongs to green, amber, no, or red. Green basically means no quarantine needed, no. So if it's a country where there's where COVID is perhaps not quite as prevalent, or kaya they have a handle on it, no, then they belong to the green list. There are quite a few countries that are on the green list, but not as many as those on the amber and indeed the red list. So basically, green means it's okay. So bago kayo magbiyahe, in fact, no, bago kayo mag-book ng ticket, look it up, no? So we were just discussing earlier, for example, Portugal. was on the green list, no? But on the 8th of June, inalis nila. Now it's on amber nga, no? So before booking, check it out first, no? Just on the home office nga website, doon nakalista nga yung mga the various countries that are on whatever list. So they break it down in three. As I've said nga, green, amber, or red. So green means it's fine, book it, hopefully you have great time, you can come back, no quarantine needed. No? But just beware, however, na some airlines, actually most airlines would require some for you to produce a negative COVID test, for example. But that's probably the extent of the restrictions. Yeah. So they're not so concerned about countries that are on the green list, basically. And at the moment, judging from the papers now today, it may well be that some other countries will be added now from the EU or even the US, no? So on the green list. Now, green list is great. Green list is fine. Amber list, and this is actually where a lot of confusion come about. Amber list is, of course, not the same as the red list. Lots and lots of countries are on the amber list. Basically, if you are a passenger who visited or transited, so kahit hindi ka nga lumabas, you just pass through amber list country, you will firstly be required to fill in what's called a passenger locator form, no? So sasabihin mo doon saan ka nakatira, so your details, where you're going to stay in the United Kingdom, for example, when you're coming back in. You also need to provide a valid notification of a negative test before you travel. So kung nandun ka nga sabihin natin, nasa Portugal ka, no? You need to then provide now, because it's after the 8th of June, a negative notice that you have a negative test before you travel back to the United Kingdom. Now, when you do arrive in the United Kingdom, you need to quarantine at home, no, for a minimum of 10 days. Now, during the 10 days na nandun ka sa bahay nga, on day 2 of your quarantine and day 8 of your arrival, passengers you need to do a test basically and submit the test. So you need to buy the test and obviously administer the test and send that in to check na that you are negative. So day 2 and day 8. Now, because you're on the amber list, you have also an option to what's called test to release, and that means that rather than quarantining for 10 days, you can quarantine for less than that, for 5 days. No, so basically you have to do quite a number of things, but at least you don't have to stay in a hotel, unlike the red list. And at least, but it does mean quarantining, et saka you need to pay for the test yourself. Now, tests cost vary. And of course, kung malaki ng pamilya mo, kasama mo sa holiday, you pay per passenger, no, per traveler. So if you're a family of 4, then whatever the test cost is, then you're looking at times 4. Now, I know one of my clients traveled recently back, and she had to pay, I think it was something like nearly £200, no, £175 for one person. Now, if you're a family of 4, then that obviously could be na mas mahal pa nga yung test cost than say the ticket. If say you're going to Spain or to Portugal, no. But kung nandun ka na, okay, when you come back, then you need to simply follow nga the restrictions and make sure that you do, no, because there are quite heavy penalties if you do not, no. Now, the third category nga is red list. Unfortunately, Pilipinas ngayon, we are part of the red list, and understandably, at the moment at least, India also, no. And we have obviously been on the red list, and I think it was May, no, when we were placed on the red list. So red list is the highest, no, restriction imposed. No? Red list countries, if you're coming via red list country or you holiday there, it means you have to quarantine in a designated hotel. No? those hotels are very generally around the airport. No, many also in near Heathrow, for example. The quarantine limit is a minimum now of 10 days, and as long as you don't, they will also check you, and as long as you prove negative, then they will release you after 10 days. If you are not negative, so if you're positive, then of course you stay longer at your cost also. Now, the fee at the moment is a flat fee of £1,750 for the 10 days nga holiday, but the 10 days hotel. So it is quite expensive, no, £1,750, no, per person nga, for the quarantine. Now, but at least it's only 10 days nga, and after 10 days, if you're negative, again, you can you would be released and you go back as normal. Now, if you fall if you're so at the moment Philippines nga is on the red list. If you fall into one of the red list countries, one of the consequences nga is kung visitor ka nga lang, so nandun ka sa Pinas, you want to visit the UK because you want nga to travel around or just visit family nga dito, you will not be allowed, no, because you're coming from a red list country. So if you're looking to be a tourist nga from the Philippines to come to the UK, and kahit may visa ka na, you will not be allowed into the United Kingdom because you are coming from a red list country. No? Now, it doesn't mean na kung galing ka nga sa Pinas or indeed say India that you will not be allowed to come into the country altogether. No, it's not a complete ban. Now, they will allow you back in, of course, to the UK if, say, British ka, so you have right to, of course, of abode in the UK. If you're also Irish, no, or also if you have indefinite leave to remain, so settlement status ka na, and also if you have a form of residence in the UK. Now, some people have defined that to mean your settlement indefinite. Hindi po yung tama, no? So kung estudyante ka, so ibig sabihin, you have a form of residence in the United Kingdom, meron kang visa dito, you can come into the UK, no? Even so, if you're a student, say you have a student visa, sabihin natin, nasa Pinas ka, if you're wondering whether you can come into the UK, even though as long as your student visa is valid, the answer is yes, you can, no? Because you have residency in the UK. It doesn't have to be a permanent residence in the UK. But at least you can come into the UK. So if spouse visa ka, you have, say, skilled worker route, so the old tier 2. If you are here on any kind of a points-based system nga, including a student in the United Kingdom, you can come into the UK. No? Yung nga lang, if you're coming in from the Philippines, as I've said, because it's a red list country, you also need to quarantine. No? Now, so the good news is it's not a complete ban, even if you're coming in from a red list country. But beware, it could be also that countries are go from green, Portugal was, to amber, and it could be, depending of course on the COVID situation in that country, it can go from green, amber to red. No, so before you book, make sure you check. No. Before doing anything else, if you're, say, from the Philippines coming into the UK. Now, kung nandito ka and you want to go to the Philippines, you want to go home, sabihin natin, no? What can you do? And sabihin natin, you want also to bring friends with you o yung pamilya mo. Can you go back to the Philippines? Now, again, there's no complete ban, but they operate, the Philippines also, understandably, the authorities nga operate a similar system nga to the UK, no? Because of course they don't want to ban all foreign travel into the UK, but at the same time, understandably, they also need to be careful. So at the moment, if you are say in the UK, you want to go back to the Philippines, if you are Filipino, no, so nandito ka, Pinoy ka, you have a sabihin natin spouse visa, you want to go back to the Philippines, you can do that. no? Now, also, kung balikbayan ka, no, you can also do that. Kung dual ka, you can also do that. Or you are former Filipino, no, you can also do that. So if you can produce now your birth certificate, they will allow you also back into the country. Now, from our discussion now before, which is a good few weeks back to now, the good news is they're also now the Philippines is also has relaxed a bit nga, no? The traveling restriction. So if you have what they call a 9A visa, basically a tourist visa, no, tourism, you can also enter the, the Philippines. But there are also countries that are banned, much like here, no red list. So India, for example, and I think Bangladesh also is part of it, but certainly India recently joined the list. Now, so you can, with if you have a valid visa, even if it's a tourist visa or indeed a retiree visa, you can, or seafarer, you can travel back to the Philippines. Now, you are, however, much like here subject to quarantine, no? And the quarantine time generally is 14 days. But one thing, and but frankly, I'm not entirely clear about this now because it's I was trying to find confirmation, formal confirmation of this. Now, I was reading somewhere now if you've had 2 vaccinations, that the quarantine time is lessened to 7 days. And if you've only had 1 vaccination, for example, or of course none, it's then lessening out to it's then 14 days. But although I read about that, I'm yet to find no formal confirmation of it. Also, it's a bit of a concern that they would say 7 days to 14 days because I don't how you can confirm it given that there's no formal confirmation at the moment. They're working on it, a kind of travel passport. So be careful if you're reading about that. There's actually quite a good a summary of restrictions noted on embassy natin, no, the Philippine Embassy London. So it actually lists there anong kailangan mong gawin. But the upshot of it is that you will need to quarantine also, no? And again, that's at your cost. Now, unlike here, which is a flat rate now, £1,750, the cost of quarantining in a hotel in the Philippines seem to vary quite a bit, no, between hotels nga. So ring around, check it out, no, and if you book in with a hotel information nga that you're going to quarantine there, make sure that you also confirm magkano, no, because you want to be clear nga that that is all inclusive na nandun nga pagkain and there's nothing else. They're not charging you additionally, for example, for testing you, no. So just be careful, as I say, and just check nga and get confirmation magkano ba. So if you're traveling to the Philippines, good news is you can, no, but there are again restrictions nga. The general government is to people is don't travel unless you have to, no. And I think there's probably sense nga in that. So if you don't have to travel, it's probably an idea to stay in the UK at least for the for the summer holidays. But if you have to travel nga, beware, check it out. These restrictions, they're moving every day, no. So useful links are, as I said, Philippine Embassy nga, London. It's quite a good write-up on restrictions nga. The DFA, no, of the Philippines, no. In the UK, there's the UKBA government website nga. But beware, the UKBA government website that deal with information about the Philippines is not exactly up to date, no. So there are certain things that are there you need to just check out. Also, on top of that, the airlines may impose certain things also. So traveling at the moment is quite expensive because of everything else that need to happen, and also long time. So if you magbabakasyon kayo sa atin nga, no, just be careful that a big part of that. So if you have, say, only 2 weeks holiday, no, you may find that the 2 weeks of your holiday is actually just spent quarantining, no. So be careful, and give it quite careful thought whether it's something that you want to do, or maybe postpone it a little bit. But if you're going to travel, travel safe.
Okay, ayan, no? So, coming in from, hindi ka, you cannot, from the Philippines, hindi ka po pwedeng, dahil nasa red list, no, attorney, hindi ka pwedeng pumunta rito sa United Kingdom kung wala kang, let's say, kung hindi ka British national or Irish national yata, or wala kang residence rights. Sino ba mga may residence rights? Yung student visa ka, no? Na perhaps you're studying here, may student visa ka, you went back home, pwede kang bumalik, no? Even if you're coming from the Philippines. Spouse visa, asawa ka, no? Naka-uwi ka, no? May work permit. Ano ba ngayon? Tier, ano naman work permit ngayon? Nung araw kasi work permit. Anong tawag ngayon? Tier something? Ano ba? How do you call it ngayon? Yung working permit.
It's skilled worker route.
Skilled worker route.
So,
SW, ano yan? SWR. Gano'n ba?
SWR.
So yun lang ang tatlo na most likely na ano. So yung mga pari halimbawa, meron tayong mga pari dito, 'di ba, na nandito, naka-assign dito, and then probably they went back home, no? May visa ba? Ano ba yung visa ng mga pari na yan? May mga pari tayo. Ministers.
Ministers of religion. Ministers nga. So also so
ano pa?
Actually perhaps an easier way of looking at it would be not visitors, no? In red list country, you will not be allowed into the United Kingdom if you only have a visit visa, no?
Ayun.
So they're not encouraging visitors. So everyone else generally would be allowed in. So yung spouse, absolutely. Student nga, you can. Ministers, yes, you can also. And those people who are under the general points-based system nga, nagtatrabaho nga dito, you can. So you would be, but not visitors eh.
Pero yung galing, mga British ba na galing from the red list countries, you have to pay the 1,750 pounds, no? Diba, for your quarantine, yun ba? Which would be for the food, the accommodation, yung shuttle mo, no? Shuttling or travel, ganyan. Pero kung marami kayo, that's quite a hefty sum, no? 1,750.
Yeah.
Diba? 750 times 2,
Yeah.
1,500 plus 2,000, 3,000. Kung dalawang tao, 3,500 na yun. Plus kung apat kayo, di magkano? 7,000 pounds. Diba? Wow.
Absolutely.
Grabe ang gastos, no? Imagine mo yun. Okay. We're gonna have a short break, and when we come back, we're gonna be entertaining your calls, no? At least naliwanagan kayo if you're coming from amber, from red, from green, kung ano mga pwede nyong gawin, no? Ano yung mga restrictions natin, no? So, ayan ho. We're gonna have a short break. Mag-station ID lang ho tayo. And then when we come back, we'll launch straight into our mga questions, no? So, wag ho kayong alis, no? At kami po ni Attorney, napakaganda ng kanyang damit daw, sabi gano'n, no? Tired daw, Attorney. Ay magbabalik po, no? Pati ako, acknowledge yung aking damit. So, thank you. So, we're gonna be back with you right after this parang station ID lang. Station ID. Okay, tuloy-tuloy tayo sa ating program. Si SONNY LARAGAN ito, no? At wala saglit si Attorney. We'll wait for her to come back para nang sa ganun ay makasama natin ulit. Attorney, good evening once again, no? Andito na tayo sa question program natin. Question part segment of the show, no? Okay, let's start up with a question kay Miss Paner. May tanong siya Ito, Attorney. Oops, ano bang... Okay, and,
so...
Yes.
So, galing po ito kay Ms. Paner. Attorney, tanong ko po, 15 years na po ako dito sa UK. Dumating po ako, yung indefinite leave to remain nung
Monday?
dumating po yung indefinite leave to remain ko nung Monday. Yeah.
Monday.
Ano po
Good.
kailangan gawin?
Maraming salamat. May kadugtong yan.
Miss
Maraming
Paner.
salamat. Okay. Sige, attorney. Ayan. So, merong good news sa kanya, no?
So, my congratulations, no, Ms. Paner. So, indefinite ka na ngayon, great, no? So, wala kang kailangan gawin other than unless you want to think about, applying for naturalization tapos British passport nga. Now, to apply for naturalization, so kailangan mo muna yung naturalization in order to be able to get then the British passport. So, first stage, if you like, is nakuha mo na, yung indefinite leave ka na, no? Second stage would then be apply for naturalization. Third stage then is yung British passport. So, if you're happy with just indefinite, frankly, you don't need to do anything, no? The settled status ka na dito, permanente ka na dito. The only thing is, of course, kung umalis ka dito for 2 years, no? Sabihin natin, umuwi ka sa atin, tagalang ka sa atin, you've been there 2 years nga, yung visa mo, yung indefinite leave to remain mo, that will lapse, no? With sayang naman. But, so, what you need to do then is if you have indefinite leave to remain, if you then want to apply for naturalization, usually, you need to wait 12 months from the date nakuha mo yung indefinite leave mo. So, for Monday, nakuha mo, no? You need to wait usually 12 months, and then after that, you can then make an application for naturalization. No? Now, the good news is, yung ginamit mong test, the Life in the UK test, at saka yung B1 English language mo, pwede mo yung gamitin for the naturalization. So, hindi mo kailangan ulit. Unless, of course, baguhin nila yung batas nga. Pagka nakuha mo na yung naturalization, that's the time that you have the ceremony, then you can make an application for a British passport. But if you, so for the time being, you don't actually need to necessarily do anything. Practically speaking, pagka meron kang indefinite, nasa card mo na nga, no? Ang payo ko sa mga kliyente ko is, look, una-una, pagka dumating na, take a photo of it, no? So, nasa telepono mo. Now, of course, you can walk around with your card that says settlement, no, indefinite leave to remain. But it may be an idea to also not walk around with that, no? Dahil kung mawala nga, it costs quite a bit of money also to get a replacement. So, but if you have a photo of it, then that should be fine. And but if you're taking a photograph nga, take both sides, no? Because often people lang yung harap nga lang ang kinukuha nila, but you want both, no? Now also if you have if you have indefinite leave to remain, you may want say yung could be that you want to provide a copy of that also to your employer nga. The doctors won't care, frankly. No, you don't need to provide it to your GP. Banks also would not really mind. Now, if you're if you're applying for a mortgage, then they probably would mind that. But otherwise, it's all good, Miss Paner. I'm so happy for you. I'm so pleased. It's congratulations. I hope you're happy.
Well, I am also happy for her, attorney, no? Di ba? Congratulations, no? Tama yung sinasabi mo. Maganda ho yan. Actually, you can do nothing, no? Ano na yan? You can actually engage in business. You can do whatever a regular citizen does, no? Yung merong naturalization. You can do anything except to vote na nga. At saka, if you want to say, for example, go to the US, you will have to apply for a visa. So, yun. Downside, sabi nga ni attorney, pag umuwi ka sa Pilipinas at let's say you went beyond 2 years, baka magka-problema ka, no? Because merong ano yan kailangan bumalik yata within 2 years, no? So, in short, sinasabi ni attorney, nasa plus na yan So, siguro, wala ka nang gagawin. Naipasa mo na yung exam ng English, napasa mo na yung Life in the UK test mo, mag-apply ka na lang ng naturalization a year after. A year after. Tama ho ba, attorney? Tama ba yan? Tama yan.
Yeah, no, tama.
Parang ineko ko lang kasi I'm happy also for her. Kay Miss Paner.
I'm so pleased, Miss Paner. No, and 15 years, it's I'm sure it was probably hard fought and very well deserved. So well done you talaga.
Ayan. So, ano ba tawag natin dito? Okay. So, right. Yeah, sandali lang. Ano tayo? Okay. Meron tayong questions dito, attorney, no? May papasok tayong question mula kay, sandali lang ha, tignan natin to. Okay, kay Arnel. Arnel, attorney, tignan natin to. Ayan, si Arnel, attorney.
Okay.
Okay, pakibasa lang yung kanyang ano.
So,
Ayan.
So, galing po ito kay Arnel C. No? Matagal na po ako dito sa UK. Overstaying na po. Gusto ko lang pong malaman, wala po bang amnesty dito sa UK? Hindi po ba magkakaroon, hindi po ba nagkaroon ever since? You know, Arnel, I'm so pleased. Well, thank you very much for that question nga, ano? Because frankly, it's an issue in fact I wanted to raise and would have forgotten if not for your yung question mo nga. So, unang-una po, just dealing with your specific question, matagal ka na dito, overstaying ka na. Now, unang-una po, if you've been in the United Kingdom for say 20 years, sabi mo matagal ka na nga dito, then one way is to make an application nga under the long residence route, but 20 years nga. If you're less than 20 years in the UK, then it's possible now to make an application under exceptional circumstances, human rights, for example, nga, kung meron kang pamilya nga dito. Pero kung sabihin natin, wala kang pamilya, nandito ka for, 7 years, which is of course matagal na nga din, 7 years dito, but otherwise you have close friends, and you're now an overstayer, then the chances are it's probably unlikely na kung magpasok ng application that it would be granted. So before doing anything in the way of making an application, please seek advice, no? Because if you make an application tapos ma-refuse ka, hindi naman na wala silang gagawin. You know, they of course record that you've had a refusal, and it could be na kung alam nila kung nasaan ka, they will come and visit, no? So ingat. Now, the second point that you make is a very, very good one, and I'm so pleased you raised it. Because I keep hearing, especially in the last, siguro mga 4 weeks, no? Meron daw chismis na may amnesty na. In fact, someone had said to me that they were advised there's an amnesty, but they're just keeping it on the low down, no? So it's for the client then to put their name down with the firm, no, with the company nga, and that way nandun na yung pangalan nila sa home office, no, and that this secret amnesty is just being kept in the low down. Alam nga lang nila because they have an inside man nga in the home office, and that frankly is utter rubbish, no. Yung chismis lang po yun. So kung merong pinayuhan kayo, may amnesty na, give us money, no? So nandun ang pangalan nyo, wag kayong maniwala, no? There is, unfortunately, no amnesty going on at the moment, no? Now, it would also surprise me hugely, if an amnesty is introduced anytime soon. Now, also, you have to distinguish between amnesty and concession. That's actually third part of your very, very good question, Arnel, no? So, amnesty basically is lahat-lahat mga tao, no? So, kung wala kang visa nga dito, amnesty means they would forgive you, no? Your everyone really having overstayed in the UK. Now, there has never been an amnesty in the United Kingdom. Hindi po amnesty, no? There have been a number of what's called concessions. No? The one that comes to mind at the moment, for example, is the domestic worker concession back in 1997. So I think it was 1997, 1998. Matagal na nga, no? And there, if you enter the UK, accompany your employer as a domestic worker, no? And then umalis ka sa kanila dahil inabuso ka nga, under the domestic worker concession at the time, you could apply nga to regularize your stay. And then there was also a concession to do with those people who applied for asylum a long time ago and have had their applications still outstanding after so many years. There was also this concession to do with overstayers nga who've been in the United Kingdom at the time. This was back in 2005. A minimum nga of 5 years, and that I think was only in play for something like 8 months nga. So there have been a number of concessions. So basically, the difference between concession and amnesty is the concession is focused on certain groups of people. No? So the domestic work concession is to do at the time with people who entered the United Kingdom as domestic workers. No? And so they would seek to regularize people in that category only. But there's never been an amnesty. And given the way things are at the moment, the way also immigration is being looked at by this current government, it would be entirely surprising if there's some kind of amnesty. So kung meron kayong marinig, sinasabihan kayo, bigyan mo, magbayad ka nga lang ng ganito, kahit ano man, don't do it, that it's not true. So be wise, and thank you again, Arnel, for bringing this issue forward, because I think it's a very important one, and thank you very, very much for reminding me to deal with it. Sorry, hindi ka namin marinig, Sonny.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh, okay. I had to switch off my microphone. So yeah. So Arnel, yan ang sagot, no? Thank you for the question, Arnel, no? We have from I think Marilu Kinsley. Meron tayong question kay Marilu Kinsley. We'll just check sandali lang, ha. Ito, attorney, may question siya. Ayan, pakibasa lang, attorney, no? Sandali lang, pakibasa, no?
Okay. So, yeah. Thank you. So, Marilu C. Kinsley, tanong po niya, "Hi, attorney, my husband is British. Pwede po ba siyang pumunta sa Philippines without any kind of visa?" Yes, he can if you are, presumably he's coming with you, no? So, it's actually one of them, yes, he would be allowed to enter the Philippines. The only thing to be careful about is if you go to the website, the Philippine Embassy website, no? It's saying there na you need to apply for what's called a 9A visit visa. But he should be allowed to enter the Philippines, though, if he's accompanying you, because obviously you are, I'm assuming, na Filipino ka originally. But at the moment, they're saying you are allowed to enter the Philippines nga if you can show that you have a valid visa. So from that, you would, perhaps let me clarify nga, he will need a visa, no, at the moment with the current restrictions that we have, because that's actually specifically stated, kailangan may visa, valid visa. But he can apply. I can't see that would be an issue.
Okay, so thank you, no? I hope nasagot ni attorney yung question mo, Marilu, no? Kinsley, taga saan ka ba, Marilu, no? At least, so we'll know, no? Hindi ko alam kasi some of our viewers will tell us they're from Devon, they tell us from Cheltenham, merong from, ano ba itong mga iba, no? Iba-ibang mga parts tayo. Nasa High Barnet ngayon si Emmeline, no? So ayan, meron attorney, asan na ba yan? Sino ba yan? Hindi, bumabati lang si Virginia Elona pala, I should say. Ito, Virginia Elona, bumabati siya. Good evening, Attorney Lira, CABATBAT, and Sonny. More blessings to the Sonny LARAGAN Show, Immigration Corner. Happy summer. Stay safe, no? Thank you. Thank you. Ayan, thank you, Virginia. Taga Sweden yan. Si Virginia Elona, no? And May is congratulating siya, no? She's congratulating siya, no? Pangalan to, si Marian Galicia Paner, no, for getting her indefinite, no? Ayun, no, for getting her indefinite. Okay, may next question tayo rito, attorney. Pakibasa nga itong ating next question dito, no?
Okay, so galing po to kay Evelyn M, no? Kung pakasalan ko po yung first cousin ko sa Pilipinas, para matulungan pong makarating dito, malalaman po ba ng UK Home Office? Bawal po ba na ikasal ang first cousins dito sa UK? Sa Pilipinas po, yata bawal. Pero kung dito ko siya pakasalan, pwede po ba siguro? Okay. On the second issue nga, I I don't know if you're allowed to marry your first cousin in the UK. Uh, my immediate reaction is you probably are, no? But I'm going to look that up. Hindi ko alam, frankly, Evelyn, if you're allowed to marry your first cousin in the United Kingdom. But more important than that, yung first section ng question mo. Kung pakasala mo nga, malalaman ba, gusto mo nga lang siyang tulungan nga, don't do it, Evelyn, no? Huwag mong gagawin. Unang-una, mapapahamak ka, no? If they find that you have done this, it is a criminal offense. It's imprisonable criminal offense. So, huwag mong gagawin. So, it's really not a good idea, no? And also, you have to bear in mind, sabihin natin kasal nga kayo sa, kasal kayo sa atin, na nakalusot kayo, na nandito na siya. You are stuck with this person for a minimum of 5 years. Dahil 2.5 years ang visang bibigay nga sa kanya unang-una, and then he needs to apply again for another 2.5 years. Quite apart from the legality, or rather illegality of the whole thing, you are stuck with this man for 2.5 years times 2, no? A big part of your life, 5 years, no? So, to be in this situation for 5 years, no? It's just not a good idea. And what happens kung meron kang makilala, Evelyn, no? And you want to marry him, and you're still married, no? That'd be a bit of a shame. So, huwag mong gagawin, Evelyn. Truly, don't do it. I know gusto mong tumulong, and I can kind of see that, pero huwag mong gagawin.
Ayan, okay. Huwag mong gagawin. You advise her against it. Unless they're falling in love talaga, truly. Pero kung talagang ang purpose lang is for immigration to be able to get, di ba, by route of a, ano ba yan, tawag yan, by way of marriage, no? Or ano, yung ano na yan, yung ruta na yan, no? Kung hindi naman talaga niya, no? Kasi matagal-tagal nilang i-ano yan, no? Ayun, if she finds somebody else, kakwento na lang niya siguro, attorney, no? Pasensya ka na, Jimmy, I'm in love with you, but would you be able to wait until I divorce? Or if you love me, Jimmy, why don't you pay for our divorce eventually? Di ba yun, no? Di ba? Ano rin, no? Ganon, di ba? Sa bagay, attorney, pag mahal mo ang tao, nagagawa mo maski ano. Si Jimmy, kung in love siya kay, sino ba yan? Kay Evelyn, he will do anything and everything. As long as, siguro sabihin niya, as long as you didn't lie to me, Evelyn, I will, I will understand. Yan, siguro yan. So, si Evelyn.
Yeah, but ito, see, it's a bit off-putting din, Dahil, no, sabihin natin, no, she meets Jimmy nga, no, and then they fall in love. Tapos, he proposes, bended knee and everything. Says, marry me, my darling, Evelyn, no?
Oo.
Sasabihin niya, yes, but I need to first divorce. No?
And you pay for it?
And that, so it's don't do it, Evelyn. I mean, I can see, you're trying to do this, you're thinking about this out of the goodness of your heart.
To help siguro yung cousin, no?
I can see that nga. Pero, yeah, huwag mong gagawin.
May naalala ko, may kaibigan ako, no? She was mentioning na dinala niya, ginamit niya yung mom niya to visit, and parang sinabing medyo frail, and then pinasama yung sister. Okay? Sumama ang sister para makarating. Kunyari, ito accompany the old lady, yung mother nila. Pero ang purpose was they will try to engineer it in such a way na in a way that the younger sister would stay here and eventually find somebody to marry. Ganon. Binanggit niya, I don't know kung sabi niya, blacklisted. Hindi ko alam kung siya ba ang blacklisted because she mentioned the word blacklisted. Meron man gano'n, attorney, when the home office finds you who na hindi maayos, kaya mo walang dinala yung sister mo o mother mo for the purpose of your sister eventually staying over and marrying, staying over to marriage, naba-blacklist ba ano? May blacklisting ba yan? Is there such a thing?
Well, it's
kamukha na sabi mo chismis yung
sorry,
so talking over you yung sa wag ko kayong maniwala sa bulong-bulungan na gano'n nga, yung amnesty, di gano'n, tapos i-put in your name and then you benefit from it, di ba? Sabi mo gano'n, no? Maraming naluloko dyan. So ito, meron bang ganyan, for example, yung blacklisting? Yeah, kasi sabi mo kanina, baka kwento lang yun, no? Ito ba, kwento-kwento lang din ng mga tao na, ay, blacklisted ako dahil dinala ko yung kapatid ko rito, pero yun nga, yung nanay ko, pinasamahan ko lang to a company, pero umuwi yung nanay ko, yung kapatid ko, hinanap namin ng asawa. Blacklist ba? May is there such a thing as blacklisted? Yeah. I don't know if you know it, no? Meron bang ganyan?
Look, the Home Office have, I'm sure, internal information that we know public's not privy to. I wouldn't say na there's necessarily a blacklisting, no? So it's more that yung taong pumasok nga dito, kung meron ka ng record, next time gusto mong magpasok ng application, either nandito ka o nandun ka, galing ka nga sa Pinas, then they will look at your record and they will see, oh, may nagka-problema, no? Kung may problema nga, that problem will likely follow you, no? And it could be na kung if you're making an application again for visit visa and nalaman nila that you actually did not make a full and frank disclosure in your original application, then it may be na hindi ka bibigyan visa dahil hindi sila naniniwala na uuwi ka pa, no? And because you have previously either breached your immigration condition or you've not told the whole truth. So that's for someone coming into the country. Yung tao nga na dito, the sponsor, the consequence, yung sponsor nga dito, the consequence of being found out nga is potentially even more severe, no? It's not so much nga being blacklisted, but you could be subject to criminal proceedings, no?
Wow.
It could be a question nga of fraud, no? And that is, you can be put in prison for that, no? So, okay. I don't think that there's actually there's a list that they refer to, you know, of these sponsors, but you will find, especially at the moment, the way the government is proceeding, if they find that you have been in cahoots, no, with something that led to deception, entry into the United Kingdom, they will likely take action, no,
okay.
Criminal proceedings.
We'll make way to some ng mga pagbati, no, and probably a question, no. Si May Tigbaw would like to congratulate gusto nila congratulate si Marian Galicia, no. Nagpasalamat niya yata, sabi niya na maraming salamat po Attorney Lira for answering my questions, and Kuya Sonny. Si Lala Cadilina, I don't know if you can quickly answer this, no. Sabi niya, hi Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny, nag-ask ako last week para sa uncle ko regarding sa iyo ba o hindi ko alam kung sa iyo kay Attorney Dana. Yeah. Regarding sa state pension na na-receive niya galing sa namatay niyang asawa, kung pwedeng niya i-transfer yun sa Pinas kasi gusto na niyang mag-settle din for good. Nag-email po ako sa inyo, not sure kung na-receive nyo. Thanks po in advance. God bless your show. Ayan. Nakita mo ba yung kanyang email?
Lala, I got it. I got it. Actually, I even started looking at it. But ang problema ito, it's actually, I was pleased you raised it because it's much more complex than I thought it would be, in fact, no? So the starting point is, may posibilidad. Yung nga lang, they've said in one section nga that they would pay, if it's a state pension, that they would pay that state pension with his state pension. Ang problema nga dito, and I've not found the answer to this, is yung uncle mo, it seems he's not, you're saying to me, entitled nga to state pension because I think last week sabi mo he only arrived recently, hindi siya nagtrabaho.
Oh, yata parang late na nagsama yata, kinuha naging mag-asawa, ganun yata. Tapos hindi naman nakapag-work yata, parang ganun yata as far as I remember, no. And then ganun, no. So kung pwedeng ipunta sa wife, mapunta sa kanya, and then he goes back home, no. Dahil siyempre maski paano mura. Anong complicated ba?
So I only got as far as it's 2 pages, you know, on the pension website actually. So I in fact looked at a couple of websites nga, and what I could glean from it is yes, he can. No, he would be able to receive it. But what does not make entire sense to me is, sabi doon, they would then pay the pension nga together with his state pension. And what I could not find the answer to is, if someone does not receive state pension in the United Kingdom, like yung uncle mo nga, no? Because kadadating nga lang niya, he's not entitled to any pension. Now, how then is it paid? No? Or how would he then receive the amount? So that is where then I got stuck. And to be frank, because it was so complex, I put it to the side and I've actually not looked into it. But ang gagawin ko, Lala, I won't be able to do it tomorrow just because I have a hearing tomorrow. But certainly in the next few days, I'm going to look at that because I'm also curious now. So the quick answer is, it seems that he could receive it. What I don't entirely understand is, how would he then receive it if kung ang process nga is it's paid together with his pension if he's not receiving a pension. So I'll look at the second bit and I'll email you next week. Actually, Lala, you may want to, I can't remember kung binigyan mo sa akin telepono mo. You may want to just email me also your telephone number because it's so complex. It may be better if we just discuss it.
Okay, ayan, Lala. Ganda ng pangalan yan. Lala Cadelina. Okay. Si Marilu Kinsley is thanking us, no? Thanking you. No? Thank you po, sabi niya. And then when you replied to her question about the husband, British husband, no? Needing a visa going back to the Philippines. Sabi niya, from Manchester po, Sir Sonny. So, mabuhay, taga Manchester, no? Ayan, so thank you po, Attorney Lira. Ayan, sabi niya. And si Mojito Bear has a question. Attorney, basahin ko na lang, no? Hi, Attorney CABATBAT and Sir Sonny. Tanong ko lang po, 10 years na po ako sa UK. 7 years may civil partner and living together. I plan for IVF to have a child. Then, in the future, pwede po ba akong mag-apply for family life? Thank you po for your advice. Jill from London po. Yeah, Mojito yata,
Yes.
no? Mojito Bear. Yeah, Attorney, yes.
Yeah, Mojito Bear. Yeah. No, yes, you can. You can now anyway, no? Hindi mo kailangan ng bata in order to be able to do that. So 10 years ka na dito, as you say, there 7 years overstay, may civil partner ka na and you're living together. So you can make an application in country, even though you don't have a child yet, no? On the basis of that relationship. So it is so you can. It's a quick answer. So you don't need necessarily a child to do that. So but as usual, no, don't make an application until you've sought full detailed legal advice. But yeah, you don't have to wait.
Attorney, lately may nakuha kong I was so intrigued by it, no, because may kakilala ko na, no, na nakarating, andito na siya ngayon. Meron siyang partner na. Nagkaanak na nga sila. Very unique yung nangyari sa kanila. Well, normally, di ba, you can, ano ba mga visa? Spouse visa, fiancé visa, di ba? Yun ang mga routes na pwedeng, eventually the partner may come over. Ano to attorney, they had to accumulate 2 years that they've been together. So, magkukunin ni lalaki si babae, magiging tourist visa rito. Mag-i-stay ng 6 months. Oh my God. Tapos mamaya si lalaki na naman mag-i-stay doon sa Pilipinas certain number of months. They just have to prove to the home office na meron silang relationship. Yung babae may asawa sa Pilipinas, hindi pa divorced, no? Andito ngayon, pwede pala yun, no? I don't know, have you heard of that kind of a situation?
Yes.
May alam ko yun.
Yeah.
Oh, anong situation yan?
Yeah. So yeah, tama ka, Sonny, na a fiancé is absolutely one route nga. A spouse visa, kinasako sa atin, and you want to come in, also is a possibility. And there's also something called the unmarried partner route, no?
Ah, okay.
Now, yun, it was originally introduced back in the day to deal with same-sex relationships, no? But it's not limited to same-sex relationships. So basically, if you and if you and your partner have been living together in a relationship ang tawag akin to marriage, a minimum of 2 years and therefore considered to be the durable relationship, then pwede ka magpasok ng application as akin to spouse effectively. So if you have evidence nga na talagang sasama nga kayo sa 2 years, so the easiest would be kung nagsama kayo sa Pinas, hindi nga lang kayo kasal dahil may asawa ka nga dun sa atin, and then you can show that actually you've been living together in the Philippines, sabihin natin, or indeed Philippines and the UK together, then absolutely, you can make an application on that basis. But beware, no? Itong application, the same, the unmarried partner route, that application is generally made as an out-country type application, no? So much like the spouse application. So kung nandito ka na on a visit visa, sabihin natin, no? It's not a straightforward swap, if you like, of a visit visa to the unmarried partner route. So much like a spouse visa, you can't simply swap a visit visa nga to a spouse visa. So that's not within the general rules. But yes, yung sinasabi mo, that route is yes, it's called the unmarried partner route. To be, you need to be able to show durable relationship, and durable relationship is generally defined as 2 years living together. And as long as you have evidence, that's a possibility.
Nagulat ako, nasyak ako kasi yung girl, may asawa pa. Although estranged sa husband, pero syempre, di ba, sa atin walang divorce, no? One way out of it is yung may usong-uso sa Pilipinas annulment, no? Pero yun nga, nagulat ako na nakarating dito, no? So sabi mo, beware because you cannot do an in-country swap, no, or change, di ba? So ang nangyari siguro ito, successful sila, but the application was done when the girl was actually back home in the Philippines pa. Tama yun?
Yeah.
And the guy, all the guy has to do...
no, it's perfectly...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So
perfectly,
it's a perfectly valid application nga. Yung nga lang, of course, if you make that application, the emphasis would be on good evidence. So there, generally, ang payo ko, kung nandun nga sa Pinas, do you have any bills together? If you're renting, are your names both on the tenancy agreement nga? Meron ba kayong bangko? Is it both in joint names? So it's for you to show that actually you have been living together in a relationship akin to marriage a minimum of 2 years. Now, again, there, perhaps a point also to make is what they define to be a durable relationship is, starting point nga is 2 years living together. But if you have a child, for example, not together, then you can also say, well, that also is evidence of the durable relationship. So it could be that rather than having to, kung kulang nga yung 2 years na the evidence, if you have a child together, then you can argue that actually having the child together means that is proof or strong proof that indeed the relationship is a durable relationship. But yeah, it's an unmarried partner route.
So maski hindi umabot ng 2 years, no? As nabuntis, na may anak, that will strengthen the case, so to speak, no? For the application. Kasi nagulat ako, this is my first time to hear of it, that you have to accumulate about, yung 2 years na nagkasama and eventually may anak na sila, no? Thriving naman yung business ng lalaki. So siguro that would help siguro kung magandang financial capability ng guy siguro, or kung sino man yung a woman, as the case may be, no? Kung sino yung magiging sponsoring partner. Yeah, attorney.
It's the same conditions, no, as a spouse visa application.
Same conditions, right?
So it's unmarried partner route, 2 years and living together generally, pero kailangan mo accommodation, kailangan mo yung financial support, the 18,600. You need to also be able to show nga that you've done the English language. So it's exactly the same conditions as a spousal route.
Okay, all right. So ayun, ngayon ko lang nalaman yan, recently lang. So something added to my knowledge na mga situations pala na there could be a way also, another way of coming in, no? Siguro by way of this route, no? To unmarried partner. Unmarried partner ba tawag? Unmarried partner, no?
Yeah.
Sabi originally for same sex, but now can be applied to even heterosexual relationships, no? Ayan. Okay, at least may natutunan ho tayo. Ito, nagpapasalamat si Lala lang, no? Attorney, thanks very much, attorney. Sabi niya, And I'm gonna be emailing you. Sige po, mag-email po ako. Sorry. Ano pa itong nailabas natin? Thanks po. Thanks very much po, Attorney Lira, for your advice. Sige po. Mag-email po for ask ko for more detailed info ng uncle ko. Thanks din po, Sir Sonny. God bless. Yes, you're welcome, no? Okay lang ako. Kung masasagot ho namin, fine. Kung hindi ho masagot, pasensya na. I-research ho siguro yan. Or, or outright, baka hindi pwedeng sagutin, no? So, okay lang ho yun. So, thank you, no? I guess, Attorney, okay tayo, no? We've handled, a few questions and somehow I was more or less na akala ko, ano lang yun, yung sinasabi ko sa unmarried partner route, no? Meron palang ganun. There's such a thing pala. But was originally contemplated for the same-sex people, gano'n ba? Initially, sabi mo? You premised it earlier, o hindi naman?
Yeah,
it could be for both.
Yeah.
It was,
yeah,
okay.
no, tama. Yeah, no, that's right. It was originally, considered really for same-sex relationship, and but even then, it was not limited to just same-sex relationships, and I suppose it's become more popular now. Because a lot of people are not marrying, and also sa Pinas nga, it's quite a useful thing kung doon kayo nagsasama because there's no divorce, no, sa atin.
Oo nga. Wala, yun nga, nagulat ako eh. So yeah, pwede yan. Ibig sabihin, pwede silang magsama for the next 10 years, 20 years without them really getting married? Pwede. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. I've learned something tonight, diba? Additional. Kaya nakakatuwa rin yung ganyan eh, no? Maski paano, sabi nga, maski bobo ka eh, no? O maski mapuro lang utak mo, kaka-araw-araw, kaka-week in, week out eh. Immigration, maski paano, sabi nga ng, diba, ng mga magulang eh, basta pumasok ka lang, anak, pumasok ka lang, makinig ka lang sa klase, maski paano may makukuha ka ron, diba? Tama nga naman, diba? Attend ka lang, diba? sabi ng mga teacher, professor ko sa high school, pumasok ka lang, attend ka lang, siguro maski paano may papasok sa utak niyo, wasag lang ho kayo mag-absent, ipapasa ko ho kayo. Ayan, sabi ng teacher yun. Anyway, Attorney, I guess it's been a very fruitful evening na naman, Thursday night. A happy and fruitful, educational, interesting Thursday na naman. So, ayan, baka meron ka pang gustong sabihin, shout-outs or anything, or let them know where they can get in touch with you. Go right ahead, please, Attorney.
Okay. So, yeah, again, salamat po. Thank you very, very much nga, no, for taking the time in joining us, no. Kung meron kayong questions, and I'm so sorry if I missed it out, so email it to me, yung kabatbat@douglas-simon.com, and I'll try and get through your questions. I mean, kung gusto nyo ilagay, write it in Tagalog, hindi nga din problema, o Taglish, o kaya English, just email me nga, kabatbat@douglas-simon.com. Kung pwede po, lagyan nyo dun sa subject na immigration corner, no? Just in case buksan ko tapos I close it, I'll never find it again because I can't remember your email address. So if you put immigration corner, then I'm sure then to be able to find it if I search the subject. So as I say, thank you very much. Oh yeah, I have one shout out, and that is I met them earlier nga. I won't give the full name, but Mr. W and Miss V, no? And Miss V gave me some kimchi, no? So she's and I'm so looking forward. I haven't had dinner, so I'm actually going to have it. Mr. W sabi niya sa akin, have it on pizza. So that's exactly what I'm going to do after this. So thank you very much, no? And hope you will join us again, no? Next Thursday. So so we would have yet again, hopefully, happy Thursday.
Yes, nako, ayan, oh. Oy, Mr. W, mabuhay ka. Kimchi, ano yan, di ba? Is it a Korean dish yata? As far as I know.
Yeah.
Di ba? Korean dish. Yeah. All right. Ang pinakamaraming concentration ng mga Koreans nasa New Malden ho rito sa Surrey, mga kaibigan, no? Kung gusto ho ninyo, ano.
Talaga?
Oh, so, yeah, New Malden, no? Oy, malapit sa'yo. Malapit sa atin, malapit sa iyo, Attorney.
Yeah.
Dahil kung Richmond, Kingston, ganyan-ganyan, no? Malapit na rin, in a way, we could say, no? Kasi ikaw, bali, ano ka na rin, Surrey ka na rin, di ba? Surrey, Kingston, Richmond, mga Surrey na yan New Malden, alam ko Surrey na yan kung if I'm not mistaken. Epsom, Surrey pa rin yan, although nasa parang London area. Anyway, ayan, no? Good evening, Mr. W, ha? And, okay, mabuhay. And Miss V, mabuhay. So, thank you very much, mga kaibigan. Maraming salamat sa inyong walang, teka muna, solo lang ako, tapos babalik ko sa iyo. Maraming salamat, mga kaibigan, sa inyong walang sawang pagsubaybay sa aming ni attorney, no? Sa ngalan ni attorney, ito po si Sonny Laragan nagsasabing thank you very much sa inyong walang sawang pagsubaybay. Keep safe, keep healthy, and take care, and see you again next Thursday night for another happy Thursday. Okay, so till then, goodbye, good night, and bye.
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you. So you can be there for them.